The year was 1976, in a quiet town deep in the heart of Texas, USA. Every morning before sunrise, a young mail carrier named Jack Wilson put on his blue postal uniform, picked up his worn leather mailbag, and drove through the peaceful streets of the town. For most people, he was just the friendly mailman who delivered bills, birthday cards, and family letters. But Jack believed every envelope carried a piece of someone's life. Some letters brought joy, some brought heartbreak, some changed lives forever. One autumn afternoon, while making his usual deliveries, Jack noticed something unusual. An elderly woman stood beside an old rusty mailbox, staring down the empty road. She wasn't checking the mailbox. She was waiting. Jack smiled politely and handed her the day's mail. There was nothing for her. She forced a smile, thanked him, and quietly returned to her porch. The next day, she was there again. And the day after that, still waiting. Weeks passed, yet nothing changed. Curious, Jack finally asked, "Ma'am, are you waiting for someone?" The woman smiled sadly. "My name is Mary." Then she looked down the long, empty road. "I've been waiting for my son's letter for 30 years. Jack was speechless. Mary slowly explained that her only son, David, had joined the U.S. Army during the Vietnam War. Before leaving, he promised, "Mom, I'll write every chance I get." For months, letters arrived regularly. Each one ended with the same words: "I'll come home soon." Then one day, the letters stopped. Weeks became months. Months became years. The military declared David missing in action. No one ever found him. Most people accepted he would never return. But Mary never stopped believing. Every morning, for 30 long years, she walked to the same mailbox, just in case. Jack couldn't stop thinking about her story. It stayed in his heart. Several weeks later, the local post office began cleaning out an old storage room filled with forgotten mail bags and dusty records dating back decades. As Jack sorted through the boxes, one faded envelope caught his attention. The handwriting looked different. The envelope was covered in dust. The postage stamp was from 1969. His heart raced. The name written on the front was Mary Thompson. His hands trembled. The letter had somehow been lost inside the postal system for decades. Without wasting a second, Jack carefully placed the envelope into his bag and drove straight to Mary's farmhouse. She opened the door slowly. Jack held out the envelope without saying a word. Mary stared at it. Her eyes widened. She recognized the handwriting instantly. It was David's. With shaking hands, she carefully opened the fragile envelope. Inside was a single handwritten page. She began to read. "Dear Mom, if you're reading this, I don't know where I am or what tomorrow will bring. The days are difficult, but every night I think about home. I remember your warm hugs, your apple pie, the sound of your laughter. Whenever I feel afraid, I remember what you always told me. No matter how dark the night becomes, the sun always rises again. Mom, if I never make it home, please don't spend your life waiting for me. Smile when you think of me. Live your life. And know this: your love gave me the courage to face every battle. I love you more than words could ever say. Your son, David." Mary could no longer hold back her tears. For 30 years, she had carried questions without answers. Now, she finally had peace. She looked at Jack with grateful eyes and whispered, "I can finally let him go." Jack gently squeezed her hand. Neither of them spoke another word. Sometimes, silence says everything. A few days later, Mary peacefully passed away in her sleep. The letter rested gently beside her bed. At her funeral, Jack placed a small bouquet of white flowers on her grave. He folded a tiny note and placed it underneath. It simply read, "He came home," through his words. Years later, people in the town still tell the story of the forgotten letter, not because it was lost, but because it finally found the person who needed it most. Sometimes, hope survives longer than time. Sometimes, love travels farther than distance. And sometimes, a single letter can heal a heart that has been waiting for a lifetime.